Rural Americans deserve access to the best of what our nation has to offer, especially health care. Across every state and every community, America's rural hospitals are the first line of defense, protecting our families, neighbors, and loved ones. No matter where you live, hospital care doesn't clock out. They're there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Each year, America's over 5,000 hospitals care for millions of patients, providing 24/7 emergency care, delivering babies, cancer treatments, and other life-saving care that patients rely on. Behind every one of those patients are doctors, nurses, and caregivers working tirelessly to keep people healthy and safe. Hospitals are our community's lifelines. They employ our neighbors and keep our families healthy. But now, some in Congress are threatening access to care. Tell Congress, protect patient care to keep America strong. Don't cut rural health care.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Taxi! Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Security, no tax on overtime. He said this great, big, beautiful bill, frankly, has been the best thing that's ever happened for the workers.
He's about to wrap up. Stay with us.
People. The only thing it does for rich people, it allows them to hire a lot more people. But when I saw him, and then he said it's all up and down the line. This is a place in Georgia, all up and down. Other factories doing different, not only steel products, different. He said every one of us was out of business. We could barely make it. Some of them were down to less than an hour a week. Think of it, 1 hour a week to make just a few little trinkets or whatever they make. Now they're going round the clock. I had it a month ago. I went to Michigan, went to Ford.
What happened? Well, he actually just walked out. He's about to walk out. That's on a bit of a delay, and I know he's just left the room. President Trump. That was wow. It was masterful, and it revealed not only how engaged he is on every aspect of American life and government, how much he cares, and his deep personal disappointment with the decision, and his mastery of the topic and why it was it's astounding. And even in defeat, there can be victory. He kept talking about the dissenting opinion, written by a combination of, let's see here, Kavanaugh, Alito, and who's our guy other there? Thomas, of course. Now, let's see. I want to see what this was all about, because sometimes you read these things and I tell you what, they can move you to tears. They're so beautiful. 6-3 decision. I want to find the dissent. Where the hell is the dissent? Gosh damn it. Where is the dissent? Where is that dissent? Imagine that. It's hard to find, huh? I'll find it. You can't keep the truth away from me. Yeah. And while I get that set up, I will tell you, I've been updating you guys from time to time. This Bill Stevenson thing, my good friend who's sitting in a jail cell in Delaware, accused of murdering his wife, first-degree murder. I do not believe it. I do not believe he harmed her in any way. I am very, very suspicious of political interference in this whole matter. Now, she was found dead in the house. They did not know why she died. I met Linda Stevenson. I met Bill. And I do remember thinking that she did not look healthy. I was like a really kind of almost taken aback by certain things I noticed. But I also noticed that they were happy, and I know that Bill is a great big jolly teddy bear of a guy. He was married to Jill Biden for a short period of time. Jill had an affair with Joe while he was a U.S. Senator. After he lost his wife, we think, he moved in on Jill, getting it on behind Bill's back. And then they get married, or they get divorced. And here's where the weaponization happened. And it totally, this is Joe Biden. This is who he is. Joe Biden says to his girlfriend at the time, Jill, you know what? During this divorce, you should get a piece of the Stone Balloon. The Stone Balloon Bar, which was a cash cow in Wilmington. Bill Stevenson started that place, regular college bar, but it took off and became like a huge concert venue, famous up and down the East Coast. Big acts would perform there, including Bruce Springsteen over the years, and it made a hell of a lot of money. So Bill is like, well, we're getting divorced. What are you going to do? They had an affair. I'll get over it. You know, we're young people. What are you going to do? You want to be with Joe? Go be with Joe. So they work out a deal in the divorce, and it's going to clean Bill out. And Bill is on his way to the courthouse, and he doesn't like it, but he's going to sign it so he can get on with his life. Gets to the courthouse, and he finds out the deal is off. No divorce today because Joe got involved. And Joe said, I'm going to get you a better lawyer, and I'm going to get you a better deal. So this deal is off. Back to the drawing board. Then it's time, okay, they negotiate another deal. That isn't very good to Joe. To my friend Bill. But the judge notices something. And before he signs the whole thing, he does a little bit of math in front of the court. And he says, so let me get this straight. Did you pay for your wife's schooling at the University of Delaware? Yes, I did. Did you provide her housing? Yes, I did. Did you do this? Yes, I did. Did you do that? Yes, I did. Did you buy her a car? Yes, I did. Did you do that? Blah, 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 blah. Okay, by my calculation, she owes you $30,000. And she ain't getting a piece of the stone balloon. That's such a Joe Biden move. He saw that. You know, he was so mad about how little money a U.S. senator made. He would go up and down complaining about it. He complained about it on the Senate floor. And you know when you complain about how little money you have, you know what that is really? It's a signal that you need more money and you want more money and you'll take more money. It's a signal that you're bribable. They call it venality. A venal, V-E-N-A-L, susceptible to a bribe. He was advertising. We make so little money here for the issues that we're handling. The issues, like multi-billion-dollar budgets. Joe thought he deserved a piece of that. And that's how he became a very rich man. Lyndon Johnson entered the U.S. House of Representatives at the age of, I think he was 39 in 1940. It was before World War II. He was 29 years old. And before that, he had a bunch of state jobs. He had been in government and teacher. And he was in government all the way up until January 20th of 1969 when Lyndon Johnson stepped down from office and Richard Nixon. He died almost exactly 4 years later. He was worth something like $200 million, Lyndon Johnson. How did he get all that money? Well, back in those days, it was a given. Joe Biden was elected to the U.S. Senate in 1972. Lyndon Johnson was still alive. When he was campaigning for that job, the Watergate hadn't even been broken into. J. Edgar Hoover. J. Edgar Hoover was still the director of the FBI. Things were different back then. Public officials got away with things. There were a lot of reforms that went into effect after 1974, after Watergate. But Joe Biden became a big shot in Delaware when he was 29. And I've seen this before. Famous people, when they hit it big, when a person hits it big, often they'll stop growing intellectually, emotionally. They'll just kind of plateau. And that's what happened to Joe. Didn't get any smarter, didn't get any better. And from that day, November 1972, till really right now, he's the biggest deal in all of Delaware. And he gets what he wants in Delaware. He gets what he wants. So he embarrassed Jill and Joe in that divorce because he got a lot of money. Jill did not get what Joe thought she had coming to her. And it's believed, and I know this, that Joe took revenge on my friend Bill Stevenson. And really the proof of this in my book is 1982. Bill Stevenson is arrested for non-payment of payroll taxes for the first quarter of 1982. I've seen the paperwork. I've seen the indictment. I can't believe it. When you see it, and I try to show this in videos, it's just, it took my breath away. I was like, whoa. Because, Bill has explained this to me. Bill he's a great guy, but he's very, he's a very talkative, and it just, it takes them a long time sometimes to get to the point. But when I saw the paperwork and I broke it down, that Bill Stevenson and his brother were arrested on April 8th, 1982, for failing to pay payroll taxes for the first quarter of 1982. The check was 8 days late, and he gets arrested in federal court. So you would think maybe this was a recurring problem, and he had been, this has been made an issue before. He'd been arrested, but no, and it must have been many, 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 many millions of dollars. You know how much it was? $8,152. He was 8 days late with an $8,152 payment, and they arrested him. That is Joe Biden throwing his weight around Delaware, and I believe he's done it again. This woman drops dead. Nobody knows why. She had a heart condition. We haven't seen the autopsy. We haven't seen the indictment. Monday of last week, my friend Bill is arrested on first-degree murder. We still haven't seen anything. We haven't seen the indictment. There's a Rule 9, and they upped his bail to $2 million. Something is wrong. Something is really, really, really wrong. And I am like, I fear for this guy's life. Let me tell you what I did this week. So he was in not court. He was in some sort of fugazi hearing with a commissioner. I thought you got to see judges. No, he got to see a commissioner. And did he see the commissioner? No, he saw her through Zoom. Isn't COVID over? Why is he seeing a commissioner on Zoom? It was a Zoom. And the public defender said, we are going to enter a plea of not guilty. The public defender. Public defenders, I'm sure, are great. But when they read you your rights, anything you say can and will be used against you in court or whole, blah, 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 blah. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed to you. It's not that he can't afford an attorney. He can't get a Delaware attorney. Delaware, Joe Biden owns a state, and people are scared and small. People are scared and small. I don't want any trouble with the Bidens. Screw that guy, and screw his brothers, and screw his sister, and screw that idiot Hunter too. All of them. This is still America. We have rules, we have a constitution, and you can't throw somebody in jail without revealing the charges. I don't care about your Rule 9 bull. Can't believe it. So this is where it gets even weirder. This week, his public attorney says, we're going to enter a plea of not guilty. Like we are going to. This isn't even a court proceeding. I don't know what the hell it is. He's talking to Commissioner so-and-so. Now, there's an attorney there who is part of the public defender office who's named in the piece. I find this person. I got to Google for about, I find a phone number. I call. Hello, is this, and I don't want to reveal this person's name, but I ask, is this so-and-so? Yes. Hi, this is Greg Kelly, and, I'm in media, and I'm a friend of Bill, and guess what happens? She starts laughing. Starts giggling. And I'm like, is everything okay? It's like, yeah, I knew you'd be calling. Really? Okay. How's Bill? What's going on? Oh, he was fine. Now, I'm not calling the prosecutor. I'm not calling the cops. I'm calling the defense attorney. I'm calling the gosh damn defense attorney. I'm not the adversary. So it was one of the most disturbing and weirdest conversations I've ever had in my life. Now, one thing I did get, she said, well, I'm not going to be the lawyer. It's going to be this guy. And she tells me the name of the guy, Ross Flock or something. She gives me his email address. So I email him. I put in the subject line, Bill Stevenson. I tell him who I am. I tell him my concerns. I tell him, and it's not like 8 pages. It's a paragraph. Please call me at your earliest convenience, blah, blah, blah. Da, 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 da. And I don't think I jumped the gun, but I gave the guy 24 hours and he didn't write back. He's a public defender. I'm Greg Kelly. I'm not, I'm not nobody. I'm not saying I'm a superstar. I'm not saying, and he doesn't write back. And he still hasn't written back. They're trying to railroad this guy. They're trying to kill him. And I can't let that happen. I can't let that happen, and it can't happen in America. Am I biased? Yes. And are people capable of all kinds of crazy things? Absolutely. Does everybody have a dark side? I'm told they do. But it's breaking my heart right now, and it's just happening. It just seems to be happening. And there's the other thing about Delaware, it's a weird, pesky little state. It's smaller than Suffolk County, but it's kind of far away. You know what I mean? It's like further than Philly. It's like too far from New York, too far from Washington for the national reporters to give a damn, right? It's really a pain to get to. You know what I mean? It's like, it's too far to go for the day. So everyone's blowing it off, and they're content to write their little dispatches. Now, I include myself. I got to get my ass down there. All right. I don't know what I'm going to have to do. I'm going to take time off. I'm going to figure it. I'm trying to figure out how to visit them. I'm also in touch with some high caliber real world attorneys that I hope. And you know what? It's tough. Everybody's got to make a living. It's tough to get somebody to drop everything and go to Delaware. You know what I mean? This is how Joe Biden's playing it. I believe this is a Biden operation. I could be wrong, but that's my belief. I've lived a long life. I know what the hell goes on. I know what's up. I know it. I got a pretty keen sense of certain things, and something is totally freaking wrong. And they're trying to kill my friend. I'll be right back.
Rural Americans deserve access to the best of what our nation has to offer, especially healthcare. Across every state and every community, America's rural hospitals are the first line of defense, protecting our families, neighbors, and loved ones. No matter where you live, hospital care doesn't clock out. They're there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Each year, America's over 5,000 hospitals care for millions of patients, providing 24/7 emergency care, delivering babies, cancer treatments, and other life-saving care that patients rely on. Behind every one of those patients are doctors, nurses, and caregivers working tirelessly to keep people healthy and safe. Hospitals are our community's lifelines. They employ our neighbors and keep our families healthy. But now, some in Congress are threatening access to care. Tell Congress, protect patient care to keep America strong. Don't cut rural health care.